Good afternoon, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with simpleroptions.com, and in tonight's free video I wanted to look at the idea of shorting Target with you. So Target is due up for earnings, and the main idea for me in this is that this is a bearish chart. Now, there's a little bit of me that gets somewhat concerned when you have something that is clearly bearish, but has also made bearish extensions, which in this case there's not even really any point in running it, as I believe they will both have been exceeded. But you can see that from those previous swing lows, you could argue that this chart is a bit extended. In that way of thinking, I think there's two ways to go about the trade setup. The first of which, and the one that tends to be most straightforward, is just outright shorting calls. So if we come down and take a look at the options chain, I think the most straightforward way of doing it is selling the $2 wide vertical, and we'll be able to take in probably somewhere around 80 cents on this. A little smaller, but I'm okay with the 70-cent credit here. So let's copy this, send the order, and we'll drop it down to 68 so we can go ahead and get filled. And this gives me one very straightforward way to participate in shorting Target. The other way that I'd like to show you is through an unbalanced butterfly. And in Thinkorswim, these are fairly easy to set up just by going to this menu and then adjusting your strikes as you see fit. Now what I would like to do with this is set it up $2 wide, and as long as I can still take in a credit, that's the key part of this trade. With something like this, it is much more forgiving if Target were to open sideways, because tomorrow if we're sitting right up against my short 55 calls, that's not going to be a very comfortable thing to hold. This position will work out perfectly fine right up against 55, and is actually where you'll see the butterfly expand out a little bit. So if I could sit here and try to get it at 25 cents, but just for the sake of getting it executed, let's try 20. And I was able to get filled there. So may have to go back and modify the price on my short calls. We'll see if that ends up meaning anything, but that's two ways to compare a neutral to lower response. And of course, if we end up having a big up move, always make sure your risk is defined. So I hope that helps. You guys have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you at the next free video.
Hey everybody, just real quick, this is John. I'm traveling today, so I'm having to do a quick video here kind of during the market hours before I head off to Vegas. So I just wanted to take a look at Momo here. Momo's awesome, and you can see Cena, which is in the same group, up 17% today with earnings. Momo earnings are next week. This is likely to keep the short sellers on their toes, so I'm fine continuing to hold on to this. If we go through and we look at our other positions here, you can see Alibaba also doing fantastic here, up $2. TXT is just kind of flat, no big deal here. And then the only stinker today has been Place. It hit 125 yesterday and just has kept on dropping. So I texted out an alert today that I'm getting out of most of the June calls. I'm going to hold a small position through earnings simply because of the high short interest. And then keep in mind, those earnings are going to be announced Thursday before the open, as well as Baba's. And then for Momo, they're not till next week, so that could get some pretty interesting movement until then. So I'm planning on holding that. And then in terms of something kind of the random yet interesting, and not really an announcement, just want to let you guys know. This is for those of you if you're into, if you're selling products and things like that online. So this is Jason. I know him personally. He's in Austin. His daughter, who is 17, has been going through cancer treatments for the last year. I've met her. She's an amazing girl, and she is now finally in recovery and has met someone else at the hospital who's going through the same treatment. And I don't understand all the particulars. If you guys are familiar with different kinds of cancers, but this is one where it's more experimental treatments. It's expensive. It's not covered by insurance. So they're going to do a fundraiser for this girl that they met. And so he's going to do a class for $197. This is about selling physical products online. So if you have no interest in that, don't sign up for it. This is just if you happen to have an interest in that and you want to learn about it, the proceeds are going to go for these girls. And again, I know this guy personally. There's, if this was some random thing and I didn't know who it was, there was no way I would, I was like, okay, sure, that's what's going to happen. Totally legit. And they've got Facebook pages documenting the progress and stuff like that too. So just wanted to let you know. Again, if you're not into physical products, don't feel any obligation or anything like that. If it's something that you happen to want to learn about, this is definitely for a good cause. All right, and there'll be a link for this in the email. You guys have a good one, and for those of you that'll be in Vegas, see you there.